Hey everybody, welcome back to Fallout Equestria. Here's the next fuller length video.
Tilted the Sky Bandit, giving us all a view of the slate blue expanse of the ocean beyond Manhattan's harbor. I could see a few lights shining from the Pony of Friendship on her little island out on the bay. The storm clouds darkened as they stretched out across the sea, and the horizon was obscured by the heavy gray of rain. Don't happen that often, but happens enough that no Pegasus ever forgets there ain't no pony guiding him anymore. Calamity snorted. And it ain't always in the morning. Once, middle of the day, about a generation after the war, the sun and the moon weren't only both in the sky at the same time, they were in the same spot. It was like they collided
Yeah, an eclipse.
or something. I was in shock, horrified by what Calamity was describing. The pony in my head tried to come up with some sort of epitaph, but no lewd reference to the goddesses could match the profanity of that event. Now, I wasn't there, of course, Calamity told us, but I've seen pictures. Sun turned into a big black disk, pouring out reddish light like it was the end of the world. Plenty of Pegasus folk thought it was. There was rioting. Ponies got killed. Enclave stepped in, restored the peace. I think that was when they really took control. It was late evening when I finally laid eyes on Buckling Cross.
Hey, at least it wasn't a comet, right? That would have fucked your stability. Only a Paradox player will understand that. Comets are the worst.
The skyscrapers had fallen behind us, and the Manhattan ruins had become a gray maze of crumbling structures and flattened buildings radiating out from the Manhattan blast zone. We could clearly see where the balefire bomb had gone off. What had once been Manhattan city center had been scoured to the foundations in a huge radius. The blast zone was almost uniformly smooth, save for odd lines where underground tunnels had channeled the blast. It glistened like glass. Beyond the Manhattan blast zone, beyond miles of shattered city, a murky river cut through the land. Its shores marked the boundary between Manhattan and Buckland, one of Manhattan's largest suburbs. The Buckland Bridge had once spanned the river. It has been one of Manhattan's crowning landmarks, a massive multi-tiered suspension bridge with huge brickwork piers that included rentable living spaces. The Buckland Bridge had collapsed from both ends, leaving only a single freestanding pier in the middle of the river, a stretch of roadway hanging out over the water in each direction. When viewed from the right angle, it did indeed look like a giant cross. Little rivulets of water were pouring off each end, the wind catching the water in misty sprays. The meeting point for our exchange with the Steel Rangers was on that side of the river, so I was alarmed when Calamity flew past it, swooping out over the water.
Why?
Hang on. What? I asked, crawling up onto a bench and floating out my binoculars. I looked first downwards towards the cracked remains of a wagon hitching lot I believed was our destination. And indeed, there were several paladins looking back up through the rain at me with upturned visors. And more waited in the ruins beyond. I spotted at least a dozen.
Cool.
Were they planning to ambush us? Or were they protecting themselves should we try to double-cross them? I pointed out what I spotted to Steelhooves. "Make sure your guns are loaded," he replied, then turned to Calamity. "Where are you going?" I turned my gaze to Buckling Cross, noting more Steel Rangers moving between the wreckage of wagons and defensive barricades. There were multiple turrets, including several mounted on the bottom of the bridge, which clearly kept it free of blood wings, and I noted a few tank-like sentinel bots rolling about on patrol.
Man, fuck those Sentinel bots. Like, they're such a pain in the ass to fight.
Structures have been built between tiers and between the columns of the pier, supplementing the living spaces already inside the pier. A line of cranes held several small boats over the edge of the bridge railing. All in all, the Steel Rangers' Manhattan Citadel looked cramped but ridiculously secure. It would take them considerable time to send reinforcements. They would have to do so by boat. I noticed other boats in the river, small light craft pushed over the water by huge fans. A hoofful of them skimmed about like insects near a small settlement huddled along the shore in the dim shadow of Buckling Cross. Once, in the old Equestria, the buildings had been a strip mall, apparently dominated by two competing coffee shops.
God.
The two shops had fought to out-advertise each other. accumulating and each building a giant billboard over their respective corners of the mall. The billboard for Java's Cup had collapsed, crushing through the
Fuck
roof of
off.
the adjacent Sunny Sod's laundromat. The opposite billboard had suffered severe damage from smoke and age, leaving only 4 letters of the sign clearly legible. Arbu. The residents of Arbu had ringed the asphalt field that had once been the mall's complimentary parking with passenger and delivery wagons, using scavenged plates of scrap metal to fortify the barricade.
Man, fuck off. Fucking Starbucks in Java.
It was a passable defense, but in comparison to the fortifications of Buckland's Cross, the little village looked like a target. Several of the signboards from above the strip mall's shops included a sign for Java's Cup the size of a schoolroom chalkboard, had been cobbled together to create a gate which could be opened and closed through a system of chains and pulleys. Above, the ponies had fashioned a sign, Arbu, friendliest town in the wasteland.
Yeah, sure.
The gate was being slowly drawn upward to allow merchant caravan to exit the town. I knew what had drawn Calamity's attention, even before I saw them. The rain-soaked ponies I saw moving between the rubble setting up an ambush for the caravan didn't look like raider ponies.
Oh,
They
fuck.
lacked the fucked-up scourges of pony kind motif. No necklaces of pony bones or cutie marks of bloodied weapons. They just looked like bandits. Calamity, maybe we should just scare 'em off. What, so they can just attack the next caravan instead? Calamity asked gruffly, kicking the reload bar of his battle saddle. Plan to go round apologizing to every pony they kill after we let 'em go? That stung. I shut up. There were 9 of them. I watched several taking aim down rifles pointed towards Arbu. One, a slate blue unicorn mare, floated a heavy assault rifle into position. If we didn't intervene, this would be a slaughter. Calamity lined up the first of the bandits and opened fire. One double shot from his battle saddle, and the
All I could think of is, what if this is going to end up as a repeat of the fucking Hellhound Town? I mean, okay, they could be actual bandits, but what if they're not? Like, what if Arbu is a piece of shit town? Like, what if it's like the Den from Fallout 2? Like, man, that's always the biggest worry with, like, we've already seen Calamity go cocksure into something and it turned out horrible with, you know, the Hellhound Town. I still say you should have asked, hey, you know, you should try to talk to him first if you could have before shooting them all from range. This could be a horrible repeat. A horrible repeat.
pony fell, missing part of his head. The bandits all turned about, looking for where the shot had come from. Only one of them thought to look up to the sky. Calamity fired again, just as the pony pointed upwards and cried out a warning to her companions. One of Calamity's bullets tore into the bottom of her pointing hoof, wrecking her foreleg.
Ow.
The other hit her thick leather armor. She fell back, badly wounded. Firelight swooped in front of us, diving down towards the bandit. The magnificent huntress let out a blast of green flame, setting the wounded bandit ablaze. I could hear her screams as she burned to death. The remaining bandits, 7 of them, dove for better cover, turning their weapons skyward. One black-coated earth pony with a sawed-off shotgun swung his weapon towards Firelight. Blam! The beautiful balefire phoenix let out a squawk of pain and fell from the sky, bouncing off a freestanding wall.
Okay, Bellfire Phoenix. That means it's basically a nuclear phoenix, right? And phoenixes can't really die, they just get reborn. As a Balefire Phoenix, does it explode when it dies? That's an important question here.
On landing in a trash bin. Velvet Remedy cried out in dismay. Calamity, get us down there now, she screamed. Dozens of bullets sparked off the Sky Bandit, echoing metallically. I floated up the zebra rifle and peered down the scope. The other ponies were shooting back at us, but the Black Stallion's shotgun didn't have the range. Instead, he was crouched behind a mailbox, looking for better cover. I brought up my targeting spell and took aim. His cover was good. It'd be a tricky shot to get him. I paused and slipped away the zebra rifle, bringing out the sniper rifle instead.
Yeah, why didn't you have that out
I
already?
reasoned that an armor-piercing shot would go right through the mailbox. But the real reason is that I didn't want to set those ponies on fire. It felt wrong to just kill them like that.
Why now?
But I was still going to kill them. Did that make me corrupted kindness after all?
You gotta get over
Calamity
this
banked,
shit, little
firing
Pip.
again. One of the bandit ponies learned the hard way that her cover was just not quite good enough. She screamed as one of the bullets clipped her in the flank, the other pinging off the concrete she was hiding behind with a shower of white dust. Damn it, move where I can see you. Steel's deep voice wryly commented, I don't think she's looking to oblige. He moved up to one of the passenger wagon's broken windows, warning us to get back. The missile launcher built into his battle saddle opened up. Two rockets whooshed out.
Why didn't you guys use that earlier? Probably could have saved a lot of rounds, and I assume they were all clumped together in this rubble.
Backwash of their launch filling the wagon with choking smoke. I threw myself to a window, more to breathe than to see, and watched as the missile struck home on one of the bandit mare's concrete shields, blasting it apart. The mare's body was bloodily torn to chunks by the blast-propelled concrete. More shots. This time neither from the bandits nor us. Several armed ponies were charging out of Arbu, firing pistols and rifles at the bandits. Others were moving to protect the merchant. The remaining bandits were forced to split their attention. The slate-blue unicorn bandit turned her assault rifle towards the incoming ponies of Arbu and opened fire, spraying wildly. The town's ponies dove for cover amongst the hulks of old chariots and the crumbled walls of what had once been a dentistry office. At the gate, one of the ponies knocked the merchant out of the line of fire, taking several bullets in the side. More rounds struck the merchant's heavily laden two-headed cattle, who moved in frightened pain.
Oh, that's
That
it.
broke my battle stupor. I floated the sniper rifle out in front of me, peering down the scope and sending 3 armor-piercing bullets through the mailbox. The black stallion toppled, laying on his sides heaving with each breath as he slowly bled out onto the ground. Calamity had maneuvered close enough in his efforts to land for Velvet that I could hear the cry of the colt who suddenly galloped out from a pile of boxes.
The
Daddy!
fuck?
Oh, shit. No, no, no. Celestia raped me with a solar flare, no. The colt ran right up to the fallen stallion, throwing himself on his dying father. And right into the line of fire.
God damn it.
What had I done?
Honestly, it
Velvet
was
Gumby's
their own
shield spell
fault.
flashed up over the colt and his fallen father. I slipped my weapon away, feeling an icy numbness pass through me. They're bandits, I tried to tell myself. But I wasn't ready for bandits with family.
Well, all bandits
Please,
have
I prayed
families.
to Celestia. Don't let the father die. The father I just put 3 bullets through.
Yeah, he's probably going to die.
Below, a rifle shot from one of the bandits caught an Arbu mare square in the chest. She fell, coughing up blood once, twice, then never coughed again. Steel's grenade machine gun tore my eardrums as a swath of explosions ripped through the bandits' defenses, killing 2 of them and sending the others scattering.
See, this is the kind of shit that I was talking about earlier, where, like, okay, I know, Lil Pip just kind of had sort of a time off, but, like, it wasn't really helpful. It wasn't really time off, because she had to deal with those fucking Shadow Council guys. Like, she needs actual, true, lengthy rest and relaxation. She is going through some fucking PTSD right now. She is developing mental problems that need to be solved and fixed. She needs to get a therapist that she could contact regularly, because this shit ain't working. She is falling apart.
Another twin shot from Calamity felled one of the bandits as he ran, blood painting the broken wall beside him. Another took several shots from the Arbu town's ponies. Most of the bullets impacted the bandit's armor with little effect, but a lucky shot pierced her eye. The shot knocked her head back. The black socket of her eye ringed with blood, stared vacantly upwards towards us. Unbidden, the
This shit's gotten really fucking gory, hasn't it?
nightmare's vision of the sun and the moon sharing the sky, becoming a black disk ringed with fire, blossomed in my mind. I shuddered uncomfortably. As the mare fell, The last bandit turned and fled into the ruins. 2 of the Arbu ponies gave chase. I could tell Calamity wanted to as well, but Velvet was desperate to get to Firelight. The passenger wagon wobbled in the air as Calamity made his decision. Then we turned, dropping down in the nearest stretch of road. Velvet Remedy leapt out through one of the windows before we had touched down. She too had a decision to make. Both the father and Firelight might already be dead. But if either lived, it was unlikely they would live long enough for her to care for the other first. She paused, looking in the direction of one, then the other. I could see the tremble pass through her legs. With a tormented cry, she made her decision, and galloped towards Firelight as fast as she could.
Yeah, I'd probably do the
As
same.
she ran, her horn glowed, opening one of her medical boxes. Healing bandages and potions and drugs spilled out. Zenith,
Also, it's a phoenix. It should be able to just rebirth. That's the whole point of them. Like, how... Okay, if I'm right, and Bellfire Phoenixes respawn like normal Phoenixes, how terrible is Velvet Remedy going to feel? Not only wasting the medical supplies on it, but like... You know... About the kid and his dad. Like, I mean, okay, fuck the dad. He's a fucking bandit. So, you know, you're signing... You know what you're signing up for. Ah, man. Everything's gone to shit.
little Pip, please help him. She begged us at the top of her voice as she left us behind. Telekinetically scooping up the dropped medical supplies, I ran towards the father and his colt, Zenith galloping at my side. You can't have my son. The black stallion rasped weakly as 2 of the Arbu townsponies pulled the colt off of him. The boy's wet mane hung in front of his eyes, the water dripping from it mixed with his tears as he struggled to be reunited with the stallion. We'll take good care of him, one of the Arbu mares promised kindly. Treat him like one of our own.
Why?
Zenith and I were doing what we could, but the 2 of us did not equal 1 Velvet Remedy. And seeing the extent of the damage I had wrought made me think...
See, this is why medical is never a dumb stat in these games, because you never know when it might come up. Like, playing New Vegas, I come across Forlorn Hope, I'm like, oh shit, the medical skill's so useful here. Not to mention, it also gives you boosted abilities on your health packs, or stim packs.
that not even she could save him without the full aid of a clinic. Instead, the painkiller was at least dulling his pain. His last breaths were shallow, his eyes glazed and not truly seeing. I could barely see him through the tears in my own eyes. I won't let... The rest of his sentence was lost in a final exhalation.
I'm especially fucking worried, because in the description for this video, right where my timer is and where the audio is, so I can actually see if I'm, you know, broadcasting voice, I see, spoiler, cannibalism. Are the Arbu ponies fucking cannibals? Now, the concept of cannibalism is a weird one, because a lot of the horrible shit really depends on if you're taking people against their will and killing them. Like, I don't like cannibalism. I don't like it. I don't like the... It's nasty. It's nasty. But, like, when it comes to stuff, like, a lot of the more... That's just personal opinion. The morality really comes from how you're doing it. Like, are you going, like, full creepy-ass murderer where you're hunting people down and capturing them and eating them? Because that's wrong. But, like, I remember this documentary on this tribe in Africa who practice cannibalism, but they don't do it on the living. They wait till the person dies naturally, or they get injured and die, you know? Then, like, it's part of their ritual custom for everyone in the tribe to eat a bit of that person. I mean, it's still nasty as fuck. But, like, I understand that, and I actually don't see much wrong with that one. Because, again, I don't like it, but as long as it's not murder eating, like, you're not going around murdering people to eat them, I can at least tolerate it if you're far away from me. Like, I mean, I don't want to go visit that tribe. I don't. I mean, they wouldn't eat me. That's not what they do. They're not like filthy murder cannibals, but I don't. You do you, I do me, and let's not kill anybody. Okay? Oh, fuck. This town's gonna be full of cannibals. And they're not gonna be the nice ones. Ah, I just know it.
The stallion was dead. I stumbled away, breathing heavily, tears falling from my eyes. I'd killed him. I'd kill the colt's father. I was having a hard time breathing. I tried to think of anything I could do to make this right. But you couldn't fix dead. There was no...
That's arguable. That is very arguable in a world with necromancy.
way I could make this up to either the father or his cult. I knew it, and it felt like it was killing me. I deserved it. My ears caught the sound of creaking wheels and hooves clopping through puddles. I turned as a pony approached from Arbu, hitched to a wagon. She was a stout apricot unicorn with a wagon for a cutie mark and a scar just underneath of it. Her coat showed signs of radiation poisoning. She waved a friendly hello that I half returned. Her horn glowed with a soft...
Wait, what if the towns aren't cannibals? What if Little Pip has to commit cannibalism? Because she gets trapped somewhere. Oh! Like, okay, cannibalism is all freaky and shit, but it's a perk I always pick up in Fallout. Even when I'm doing a good karma run, I always pick it up. Because, like, fuck it, it's another thing. It's different when it's in video games. I mean, in real life, there's a whole morality thing about it, and, you know, concerns about that, but in video games, that's completely different. Like, fuck it, just ate them. But, oh, dude, that'd be fucking weird. I kind of wanted that. I kind of, like, it'll be fucked up, and it'll probably shatter her already breaking psyche, but I kind of want to see that. I'm fucked up, I know.
Soft brown light that enveloped the father and floated his body upwards and onto the cart, placing the black-coated corpse on top of several other pony bodies. Arbu was collecting the dead, their own and bandits alike.
They're cannibals.
"What are you doing?" I asked weakly. "Well, some ponies gotta bury 'em," replied a green-coated Arbu mare with shockingly orange hair. I felt another shot of pain as I realized the good ponies of Arbu treated the dead of their enemies better than I tended to treat the bodies of ponies I had grown to care about. The images of Pinkie Pie's skeleton and Apple Bloom's both floated in front of my mind's eye.
Got a
I
point
realized
there.
how utterly unworthy I was of Homage's affections. I didn't deserve the friends I had found. I couldn't keep going like this. I couldn't keep doing this. I needed to do better.
I mean, I'm kind of happy she realizes she can't keep going on as it is. But I'm a little sad that she didn't realize that she needs to just fucking stop. Like, she needs a month off. Like, at least just a fucking month. And none of that homage kicking her out of her bed shit, okay? That's not helping. That's not helping at all. Like, Little Pip's gone through more shit than anybody in the Wasteland usually does. I mean, yeah, there's rape and murder and stuff, but like, whew, most people don't gotta go deal with this shit. They don't have to deal with it.
I needed to be better. Velvet Remedy appeared, tears in her eyes. Goddesses, no, not Pyrelight too. But this time my worries were in vain. "She'll live," Velvet announced. "If the shotgun was in better repair, it'd be another story. But she's in bad shape. We should get her to some place radioactive in the next few hours so she can begin to heal properly." "Well, if you're looking for radiation," said one of the Arbu ponies, a milk-colored mare with a stringy tan mane and a birth defect that left her with only one eye, said as she trotted up, shaking Velvet's hoof in a friendly greeting. "You can look to the Gurhaus breeding facility just up the river. Mind the radigators.
The what? Breeding facility?
And don't go killing any of them." "Gurhaus?" I wondered quizzically, only to be answered with a sharp nod. My eyes strayed to her flank. A cutie mark looked like several sharp teeth. Radigator teeth, perhaps. She, too, had a little scar beneath her cutie mark. A small brand, it looked like, reminding me of the brand that had obliterated Calamity's cutie mark. "Breeding facilities?" Velvet Remedy asked.
Yeah.
"Breeding what?" "Why, radigators, of course. Weren't you listening?" The mayor replied. "Oh," replied Velvet Remedy politely. "Little Pip, we should go." I nodded numbly, ambling towards the Sky Bandit. Steelhose was still there, keeping an eye on the life support cocoon strapped to the roof. The status of Elder Cottage cheese had not changed. Calamity was pulling an old suitcase out of the rusty husk of a chariot. My little scavenger. "Now
That's
you come back
a name
now,
for a
you
show.
hear?" The green mare with the orange mane called out. "We'll have dinner."
No! No!
Okay, this is just getting ridiculous. Third time this month I've had to break up a yelling match between Mr. Beans and Jamocha Joe. Ever since Joe opened that new Starbucks across from Mr. Bean's Java's Cup. First it was just the two of them trying to undercut each other's prices. Then that shipment of coffee beans went missing and Jamocha Joe started throwing some nasty accusations. Totally groundless as it turned out. Shipment just got rerouted to Philadelphia cause some glitch in the Starbucks terminal system. Can't stand those things. They seem downright unpony. Anyhow, yesterday Jamocha Joe unveiled a new ad for the Starbucks Steamy Coffee, and ho-way! Never felt more like buying a cup of coffee in my life, just to show my appreciation. Now, I don't know what makes steamed coffee so different from any other type, but Mr. Beans was sure steamed about the ads. Called it blatant use of sex to sell coffee.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I reckon he was pretty on the nose about that. Mr. Beans rallied together a flock of local ponies to stand in front of Joe's place, decrying the poor guy as immoral and degenerate, the whole think of the children routine, and harassing his customers. When I arrived to break it up, one of the old mares hit me with a protest sign. Jamocha Joe came out to help, and before I knew it, Mr. Beans and Jamocha Joe were in each other's muzzles, and it looked like it was about to come to bucks. Didn't help that Mrs. Weather's stupid yappy poodle got loose and was adding its own head-splitting noise to the ruckus.
Who died?
Managed to get him settled and went right to quick care for some stitches. I can't believe I quit my job in Manhattan for this crap. Calamity's suitcase had been locked. Opening it, I found an old security guard uniform, a cattle prod, a 4 stars month's pass in the Luna line, and a comic book, Sword Mares. The cover
Ew.
featuring a mare who was rendered to be ridiculously hot to the point of deformed.
Yeah.
Wearing equally ridiculously flank-bearing armor and holding a sword in her muzzle, she faced down a monster that looked like a cross between a giant Yaguai and Nightmare Moon, a wide-eyed buck cowering behind her.
Yeah, I can see.
In addition, there was a whole mess of audio logs.
Man,
Most of the
that would
logs
be
had
a terrible
deteriorated
comic.
beyond salvation, but I was able to download 8 of them onto my pitbuck. My pitbuck was clicking at me with a chiding voice. Calamity circled the Sky Bandit around the ruins of the garish pink and green hatchery building with the cartoonish smiling alligator statue out front. The hatchery sat between the Manhattan edge of the gloomy river.
Aren't you supposed to deliver that old bastard?
And a set of train tracks which crossed the street leading up to it. All about were strewn tank cars, most of which were leaking a glowing toxic sludge. When the balefire bomb had detonated, the train had derailed, spilling its shipment of radioactive waste across several blocks. The hatchery had gotten the worst of it. Several train cars had been flung into the building and its water pens, smashing them apart. Gummy's Retirement Hostel and Alligator Sanctuary. I spotted
Aww,
at least a dozen giant radigators milling about in the water pens and along the shore.
they're Gummy's children! And that's all I have for tonight. Arbu is a town of filthy Okay, I'm not going to use the word filthy, because maybe they're on the level and they only eat dead people. And, okay, here's the thing. If they only eat their own dead, or the dead of people who attack them like bandits, then we might be okay. We might be cool. I'm not going to eat there, but I won't call them filthy cannibals. However, if they have a holding pen, and that little colt has got put into that holding pen for eating, we have a fucking problem.